Alright guys, it's that time of year again. Our top 10 games for VR is here. This is including Oculus Quest games, Oculus Rift games, of course PSVR as well. This is my top 10 games across all the VR platforms. Let's go ahead and get into the video.
Gaming tech, eating brekkie is the gaming tech. Going for a recce is the gaming tech. Gaming techie is the gaming tech. Gaming techie.
Alright guys, so these are my top 10 VR games for 2019. This list was really hard to make. There's a lot of good games. We're taking all the systems into account. So we're talking about PSVR, Oculus Quest, the Rift S, all of those games that have come out for all those platforms. This is a top 10 list of all those games combined. And this list was hard to make. There's a lot of quality games that came out this year on all systems. And it was a great year for VR gamers. There's a lot of good games to play, and these are my top 10 favorite games that have come out this year and things that I think you guys should be checking out. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into number 10. And number 10, we're talking about a game that I'm a big first-person shooter fan, and on PC and on consoles and stuff, I grew up playing Unreal Tournament, games like that. And this game, when it first got announced, it was made by Ubisoft. I got really excited. And of course, we're talking about Space Junkies. Space Junkies was in development for a long time. I remember hearing about it, seeing betas come out over and over again, and this game is just straight up fun. It's a good thing that they added AIs to play with and stuff, because unfortunately they've ceased development as far as like making new maps and stuff. They did support it for like over a year with like new maps and new modes and added bots and stuff to matches and stuff, and thank God for bots, because obviously the game didn't fly off the shelves when it first came out, probably because it took so long to come out. People were waiting for so long, and also it was a high asking price when it came out. I believe they started asking for $39.99 right when it came out, and they decreased the price so fast. I think like not even 2 months later, I believe the game was under $20 already. But regardless, if this game is on sale and you guys are fans of Unreal Tournament style games, go ahead and pick this game up. Even if you need to, you know, get friends to play it with you, because there may not be a big community out there. I still find people playing it when I get in there every once in a while. But if you're afraid of that, it's fine. There's bots in the game you can play, and it's still a hell of a lot of fun to play. You're going into space, and you know, the movement's really cool. You don't get any nauseous or anything like that from playing the game. I never have. And it's just a hell of a lot of fun to play. The weapons are all cool to use. It's definitely an Unreal Tournament style game in VR, and I love it. And I can't wait for the events feature that's coming from Oculus in the next week or so you can actually create events for any game you want to play, and I can be like, hey guys, all my friends, it's at 7 o'clock on Saturday, let's go ahead and dive into Space Junkies, so everybody knows you're ready to play. And that's going to make games easier to play that are not, you know, have a huge community right now as far as multiplayer goes. But Space Junkies is my number 10. It is an awesome game. Guys, go ahead and check that one out. Something I forgot to mention with Space Junkies is it's also available on all platforms, so it's crossplay between PSVR, not all platforms because it's not on the Quest, but it's on PSVR and the Oculus Rift, and of course the HTC Vive and on Steam and stuff. So you guys can check that out on all those platforms, and it's cross play, so that's always good. The next one on my list is the most weirdest game I think I've played in VR, but also the coolest game I've played, and unique game I've played probably this year as far as uniqueness in a game. This is definitely one of the most unique games I've played all year, and that's why it's on this list. And we're talking about The Under Presents. This game came out literally like I believe it was 2 weeks ago, and it was for the Oculus Quest. And I kept hearing people talk about it, be like, hey, everybody needs to play it, everybody needs to play it. I almost skipped it altogether because I had no idea what it was. And then I found that it was from the same developers who made Virtual Reality, which I loved that game when it came out on the Oculus Go, and then it got ported over to the Quest. So I was like, oh, I need to check this game out. I dove into the game. Just like everyone says, the first 20 minutes you're completely lost. You have no idea what the hell is going on in the game. And I can't talk about a lot about specifics of the game because I don't want to spoil anything. But basically, it's about stages and stuff, and you're trying to figure out who's a real character and who's not. What's cool about this game, they are going to have, at least until March 2020, you could actually run into live actors in the game, and you don't know who the live actors are, and that's the kind of gameplay they play with. And there's just some cool stuff. You guys really need to check this game out. It's so unique, it's so different, and I had no idea what to expect, and I was literally blown away when I was playing this game, especially after 20 minutes trying to figure out what the hell was going on in the game. And you get deeper into the game, and you reach this main area and stuff in the game. Things really open up, and it's just some really cool stuff in there. And I recommend you guys check it out before March 2020 so you can see the live actors in the game, because that definitely adds more to the game now than it would if those weren't actually in there. So, guys, go ahead and check that one out on the Oculus Quest. That is The Under Presents at number 9. The next one on our list also came out a couple of weeks ago, and these are for all my fans who are into the stealth gameplay and are into like Metal Gear Solid and stuff like that. And we're talking about Espire 1. Now, everyone's been looking forward to this game for a long time. I know I have. Everybody saw the gameplay trailer and we were like, oh, are we finally going to get our Metal Gear Solid or stealth action game for VR? And I think they did a really, really good job, and I think it actually may hit that target for a lot of people. This is literally you taking the role. You're going in through stealth. You're trying to go through these levels and stuff. You really feel it. It even has hints of Metal Gear Solid because the red alert, like, you know, when you get closer and an enemy sees you, is all there, just like Metal Gear Solid was. And you're going around these levels. You can attack it in many different ways. You can even climb the tops and stuff like that. And then if you see a guy on the other side, climb the top, drop on top of him, and just punch him or kill him or knife him or pistol him, whatever you want to do. Really open-ended gameplay. Really, really cool stealth action game that you guys are in for in this one is Espire 1. And if you guys are into that genre of stealth action, this is one you guys definitely don't want to miss. It's $29.99. It is on the for Oculus Rift and for also the Oculus Quest. Guys, go ahead and check that one out. That is Espire 1 at number 8. The next one on our list at number 7 doesn't need any introduction by anybody. There's no reason for me to introduce this game. We're talking about Beat Saber. Now, Beat Saber, when it first came out, took basically the world by storm. I still play this game, and I literally turn on my Quest or my Rift S sometimes just to get a few rounds of this game. And I still do that to this day, even though it's almost a year old at this point. And now that they got bought by Facebook, hopefully that gives them an Oculus. Hopefully that gives them even more money to go and purchase big artists out there and get even more songs in there. Because the only thing I still want to see improved in this game is I want more variety in the packs. Obviously they've done packs like, hey, here's Panic of the Disco, here's this, here's that. But I want them to actually say, here's a pack of 10 songs. Here's a variety of songs, and you know, have fun and have at it. You know, songs from pop, songs from rock, songs from R&B, all that stuff, all mixed into a pack. And obviously, this game does have, and it lives and breathes by it, you know, custom soundtracks that people are making, and that's obviously what I play the most. But if they actually made these songs, obviously the ones made by the developers are usually going to be better than the ones you get custom because they know the game. You know, they time the beats at the perfect time, and they get more creative with the beats hitting and stuff like that with the lightsabers. So I still want to see songs made by them, especially newer songs and stuff like that the community may not be doing. So Beat Saber, and they added the 360 mode, of course, this year, where you can actually you know, you're using more of your whole entire angle right here to actually play you know, the songs and stuff like that. So some really cool stuff with that. So guys, Beat Saber, no reason for me to talk about it anymore. Everybody knows this game. So that's Beat Saber at number 7. The next one on our list also came out this year, and it's an Oculus exclusive. And when I first stepped into this game, the graphics were obviously the first thing that grabbed me, but the open-ended gameplay, the open world that we all been wanting for in VR, literally came into this game as soon as I opened it. And we're talking about StormLand. Everyone's been waiting for this game for such a long time. They've been teasing it and talking about it for so long from you know, the day that it first got announced, and we finally got our hands on it this year. And I think it lived up to all my expectations and all the hype that I had for this game. And the graphics are outstanding. Going through and traversing the level and the controls and stuff like that are so much fun. Going in there and playing co-op with your friends with 3 other people. With the open-ended gameplay and exploring that open world and going through and taking out the enemies with your friends and stuff like that. Awesome. There's so many things to do, so many missions to do, so many side things to do, and playing it with your friends just makes it even better. Guys, if you're looking for a co-op to play with co-op with 4 of your friends, this is definitely one to check out. And the graphics are outstanding. You guys can see that from you know, the gameplay that you guys just saw. The trailer for this game literally blew me away, and when I got in there, I was still blown away with how good the game looks. And traversing the level and stuff like that and going with your friends is so much fun. Guys, StormLand, and it's an Oculus exclusive for the Rift. Go ahead and check that one out. That is StormLand at number 6. The next one on my list is another game that's sort of like Beat Saber, and I've been playing this game to death ever since it came out last month. And it's available for the Quest and the Oculus Rift, and also on Steam. And this game is Pistol Whip. Pistol Whip is basically, if you took Beat Saber as a music-driven game, and you took that genre and you mashed it up with something like Super Hot or stuff like that, where you're using weapons and stuff in the game, or pistols in the game, and you mash them together, this is the game you would get. Basically, there's 10 levels in the game right now. They're already promising free ones, and I'm sure, hopefully, the game does well enough where they do even paid DLC down the line to help support them and continue making songs. And hopefully songs that we know, too, would be cool, because right now, it's 10 soundtracks specifically designed by them. And basically, when you play through, there's an easy, normal, and a hard, and you're basically going through, and you're listening to the sound of the, you're listening to the song, and you're taking your pistol, and you shoot the enemies to the beat of the song. You don't have to listen to the beat of the song. You could just listen to the song and obviously just kill the guys as they come up. And that's probably what you're going to do for a few tries until you get used to playing the game, like I did. But, man, once you get into, like, hitting these guys to the beat and you really start getting into a song that you really like, it really takes it to that next level. And each level is uniquely designed to fit and tailor that song. So the 10 levels are all designed differently from one another. And it's so much fun to go through there and just chase the leaderboards against your friends. Like I said, there's an easy, normal, and a hard. And there's 10 songs already in the game with different levels. And the game is just so addicting. And if you want to, and if you don't care about your score and you just want to have fun, you can even dual-wield 2 pistols and just go crazy in there. It's like a John Wick, like you're freaking like dodging bullets, you're ducking between each things and shooting guys and stuff in slow motion. It's just so much fun. It's one of my favorite games of the year, obviously being at number 5. And I play this game, I'm starting to play it just like Beat Saber, where when I start my Oculus Quest or I start my Oculus Rift S, I'm like, hey, let me play a song of Beat Saber, and oh, also let me play a quick song of Pistol Whip, because they're so much fun. It's so much fun to play. Guys, check out Pistol Whip. You owe it to yourselves if you're a shooting fan, super hot fan, and a music fan. Check this one out. Pistol Whip at number 5. The next one on this list is an Oculus exclusive. It is from one of my favorite franchises and movies of all time. And of course, we're talking about Star Wars Immortal. Now, this is released in 3 episodes. There was a part 1, a part 2, and a part 3. All 3 parts are now available, so you can buy it all at once and play it from start to finish. And as a Star Wars fan, I love the experience of this game. Some people say it's more like you're going through an experience as far as the story goes, and each episode is about 40 minutes to 50 minutes as far as what the story is. But I love the experience. It's an interactive story, basically, that you're going through, and it's part of the Star Wars lore, which is even better, because if you're into the Star Wars lore, it fits through the actual timeline, so you get some, background of what Darth Vader was doing throughout that period, and it's just really cool, and, seeing Darth Vader up close is all cool and stuff like that, and of course, each one actually has a dojo mode as well. So the first game, you were introduced to having your lightsaber, so you're going through and you're fighting waves of enemies with your lightsaber. And then the second one introduced you having your force powers, so you're using force push and stuff in that dojo mode. There's 40 different levels in each of the or 50 different levels in all the dojo modes, and you can unlock different parts for your lightsaber and different colors and stuff, so it gives you an incentive to keep playing. So for $10 on each episode, it's worth it. The dojo mode alone, in my opinion, is worth $10. Being able to live out your fantasies of using a lightsaber and killing the droids and stuff like that, and going through the epic storyline of the first one through the third one. I still had a lot of fun with this game this year, and it's an Oculus exclusive. It is on the Quest and it is on the Rift S. So guys, if you're a Star Wars fan, you don't want to miss this one at $10 a piece or $30 for the bundle. I really think it's worth it if you're a Star Wars fan. Go ahead and check that one out. That is Star Wars Immortal at number 4. The next one on this list is actually a game that literally came out a few days ago, and I actually climbed my list so fast as soon as I started playing this game. I couldn't even believe myself. I was like, should I really be putting this game on this list when it literally came out less than a week ago as my number 3? But I had to, because this is not like anything else I've experienced in VR and as far as the physics go. And of course, I'm talking about Boneworks, a game everyone is talking about right now. Obviously, this is on all platforms. It can play on all the platforms for as far as the Rift S and the HTC Vive, and of course the Index as well. And of course, it's not on the Quest, of course, but it is on the other 3 platforms. It's not on PSVR, unfortunately. But Boneworks is just, the physics in this game is not like anything else we've experienced in VR before. You can manipulate all these objects, and manipulate everything you think should actually work is probably going to work for you, like you would think in the game. And it's like a 6 to 8 hour campaign in the game that you're going through, and you're messing around with the physics and stuff. And it's literally included on this list, not because of the story, not because of how much, how long the story is, or the actual story that's being told. That's not why you're playing this game. You're literally playing this game because the physics are literally what's going to set up VR for the future. And it's a game that everyone needs to experience if they have VR. Guys, you need to owe yourself. If you're a fan of physics and manipulating objects and stuff, you need to get out there and buy this game, because It is an outstanding game. They did a fantastic job with this game, and I'm having so much fun with the physics. There's a few bugs here and there because it just came out less than a week ago, but those obviously are probably going to be patched relatively quickly. And I'm having so much fun with this game. It's nothing like I've experienced so far this year as far as physics go, guys. Check out Boneworks on Steam or on the Oculus platform at number 3. The next one on this list is an exclusive for a platform as well, but it's the first exclusive on this platform that's actually made it, and it's sitting at number 2. And we're talking about a game on the PlayStation that you're probably all guessing right now, and I'm talking about Blood and Truth. Man, this game came out early in the year, and I was like, oh, this is going to be a great year for VR. If this is what we're getting at the beginning of the year, man, I'm so impressed with the game. The voice acting in this game, the motion capture for this game, the graphics for a PSVR game, the action in this game, top notch for everything that I played this year. And I can't believe it's a PSVR exclusive, but the graphics are still outstanding. The motion capture and stuff with all these characters that they did is so much fun. It's, again, about 6 hours to get through this game, but you can go through the game after you're done and try to get high scores in the different levels and stuff like that. But you literally feel like you're going through a James Bond movie in this one. You really literally feel like a badass going through here. You're shooting guys, you're jumping in the air, flying through things, jumping out of helicopters, you know, doing all this crazy stuff like you would in a B action movie basically. And it's just crazy zaniness, action fun. That's what this game is. This game is just straight up fun. And that's exactly why it's on this list, because it's one of the most fun titles I've played this year in VR, on PSVR, and on all systems, obviously, at my number 2. And it's just a hell of a lot of fun to play, guys. If you guys if you have a PSVR and you haven't played this game, I don't know what you've been doing for the past year, but go ahead and buy this game right now, Blood and Truth, because it is an outstanding experience, and I had so much fun playing it. Guys, that is Blood and Truth at number 2. And my number 1 VR game for 2019 is again coming in as an Oculus exclusive that is on the Rift S, or obviously the Rift platform. And when I first heard of this game, I didn't know what to expect because I didn't really know anything about the game. I just knew a lot of people were talking about it. And then I got more and more interested in it. And as I dove deeper into it, I was like, oh, this game's looking really interesting. And of course, we're talking about Asgard's Wrath. Man, I played this game literally a couple of months ago, and the opening 15 to 20 minutes of this game, outstanding. The graphics in this game are literally the best graphics I've seen so far on any game so far this year that I've played in VR. And it's made by Swanza Studios, if that's how you pronounce it correctly. They were the same people who made the Marvel game, which I'm actually a big fan of, even though a lot of people weren't. But I love the Marvel game, and they had the graphics down in the Marvel game. Everybody agreed on that, and they have the graphics here. It looks and plays outstanding. It is a 30 to 40 hour adventure, basically what everybody wants in VR. They want a 30 to 40 hour RPG, action RPG in VR, and this is literally a game everyone's been waiting for as far as action RPG goes. You're going through, you basically, you transform from a god that you know, overseeing the level and stuff like that, and these are expansive open world levels to explore, as you guys saw a little bit here in the trailer. And you're going through these open worlds. You can actually take the people that live on there, you can basically encompass their body, and then you get certain abilities from them, and that's how you manipulate, and you're going through the levels and stuff. And then you can return back to your god form to oversee and see things that you couldn't see from down below in the level. And then you can take some creatures and stuff like a shark that I got in the beginning, and you can actually possess them and make them part of your team, and then they're fighting for you and stuff like that, and you can command them to do certain things. And the sword fighting in this game is so much fun. The combat in this game, when you actually start getting your weapons and stuff and get deeper into the game, and you're going through the combat and you have to parry and stuff like that, it's a hell of a lot of fun. And I haven't finished the game. I'm like over 20 hours in. There's so much to this game, so many different missions to do. And it just looks outstanding. I'm so impressed with this game and what they were able to pull it off. I guess this is what we will get in VR if you have the backing of a studio, because obviously it's an Oculus Studios title that they're working with. And, they put a lot of money to this game. It was developed for a long time. And we got an outstanding 30 to 40 hour adventure. This is going to be the game of the year for me this year. And I don't know what else to say about it because it's literally one of my favorite games of the year. Obviously, it's outstanding. And it's a game that everybody who has an Oculus Rift S, or if you have to get yourself Revive to be able to play it on the HTC Vive or on the Index, go ahead and do it if you need to do it that way. Because it's a game that nobody should miss if they're a fan of action RPGs and a fan of the combat that you guys are seeing in this game. Guys, don't miss this title. It is my favorite game of the year. You guys should all check this one out. At number 1, it is Asgard's Wrath on the Oculus Rift platform. Guys, so that is my top 10 list of 2019 for VR. This was an outstanding year for VR. Oh, one quick honorable mention that I'm going to mention here is Audica. Audica is another one of my favorite games that I get to play. It's a music-driven game just like Beat Saber, but you're dual-wielding 2 guns to the beat of the actual soundtrack. It's different than one Pistol Whip is, and Audica is a really outstanding game. It's coming to the Quest here shortly, and it's already available for all the other platforms. So check that one out as well. Guys, that is my top 10 for the year. I hope that next year is as good as what this one was, because we had a lot of outstanding games that I could still talk about on this list that didn't make this list, but are great games that you guys should be playing on the Oculus Rift platform, on PSVR, or on all these systems. So many good games to be playing if everybody's a fan of VR. Obviously, if you're on this channel, you probably are. And it was a great year for VR, guys. If you guys have any questions about anything that I talked about here today or any of the games, as always, leave it down below. If not, thank you guys for watching. Till next time.
Gaming techie is the gaming tech. Gaming techie, gaming tech. Eating brekkie is the gaming tech. Going for a recce is the gaming tech. Gaming techie is the gaming tech. Gaming techie.